I feel like, especially with the situation that you're talking about,
Hmm.
I think a lot of people have that entire situation misconstrued, and most people didn't actually go look at my interview. They may have looked at T Grizzly's so quote unquote response,
Hmm.
but T Grizzly's response was done without looking at the interview. You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
didn't knock him for anything. What I said was, me and Marshall had a conversation. Marshall had his eye on a lot of the guys. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? T Grizzly was one of them, so we had a conversation about him. But the reason why T Grizzly in particular was one of them is because I I took T Grizzly there. I showed him T Grizzly. That's first.
Okay.
So when we talked about it, he was like, "So do you think he like somebody who I should work with?" I was like, "Absolutely." Now, here's where it got blurry for people who didn't look at the interview. I said I would be careful when you did that. I would be careful when, because he's the first of his kind. So if you go too soon on him
Hmm.
and jump next to him and rap something and it take off, they're gonna give you the credit for that and first day out. I was
Yeah.
like, so I would just be careful not to stomp all over his movement, but he's definitely one of my top picks. You know what I mean? And the reason why I brought everything up, the whole point that everybody missed was he put out a diss record. He put out a record dissing Marshall. So I said, my point was, don't do stuff like that and assume that people aren't looking at you, because just when you make that move, you
Hmm.
look up and it's like, damn. Now, when Marshall heard the diss record, which I didn't take to him, when Marshall heard the record, he told me, "Oh shit, he just burnt the bridge he didn't even know he had." So that's the point that I was making. I didn't stop nothing. I don't have the power to shut down nothing. Marshall is a whole superstar. I don't tell him what to rap on, when to rap. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But if you listen to niggas like Dogface, then you're gonna get a skewed picture of everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? But me bringing any of that up is me extending the hand even further than I've been extending. So when he went and did his response,
Hmm.
which which I didn't like, but I didn't allow myself to dislike it.
Okay.
What I did was I forced myself to understand. So I
Okay.
reached out to him, and when I talked to him, we had a beautiful conversation. He understood. He understood where the communication went awry, and I told him, I said, man, for future reference, any time you have any questions for me, man, I'm always accessible to you. I don't want nothing but what's best for you. You know what I mean? If you need me to pull up somewhere, you need me to do something, you need me to make some calls, you need me to do anything, man. My resources are your resources. Please don't allow yourself to be left to your assumptions, because I did that when I was young. The generation that came before me, we didn't get embraced by that generation because none of them were from Detroit.